Good day, everybody. Today, I would like to talk about a very important topic, which is goal setting and motivation. All of you, as you start on your entrepreneurial journey and build up social enterprises that will solve some of the really pressing problems of our country and of the world, you need to understand what it is that motivates you and what is the goal you are setting out to achieve. This is the fundamental question you have to answer before you even take the first step towards starting your enterprise. Basically, there are three questions we need to answer: why, what, and how. Then we need to keep up the motivational fuel and continuously reimagine what our end vision is going to be like. Let's dive in straight away, getting the why, how, and the what right. The first topic I'd like to touch upon is motivation. When we say why, we are talking about not the why of your group, the why of your college or institute or association or even Hult Prize India or anybody else you may be associated with, not the why of your mentors or your well-wishers or other stakeholders. This is your personal inner why. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? What is it that makes you set out on this journey? And that's very important to answer. For each and every individual, once we figure out what it is that makes us tick, do we want to become an entrepreneur because we want to make a difference? Is it because we don't want to follow the beaten track and go into a regular 9-to-5 job? Or is it because we want to help people? Is it because we want to make an impact in society? It could be a number of reasons, but we need to understand the why. We need to understand exactly why we are setting out to do what we do. The next question we have to answer is how that why is going to be achieved. So what are the things that would help us to get to what we want to achieve? And the last question, which is equally important but has to be addressed right at the end, is what specific things or actions we need to do to achieve the aim that we have in mind. So as we go about answering these questions, I would briefly ask you to think about your social venture as a mission. All of us, when we set out on a venture, we have a goal, an aim, something in mind that we want to achieve. A social venture is different because it's a mission to make a change. So, as Mahatma Gandhi said, you must become the change you want to see in the world. Now, consider the sentence. It's a short sentence. It's about 8 to 10 words, and it briefly encapsulates his entire vision and mission of what he wanted to achieve in his life. So while you can write a mission statement for your entire life, I would here restrict it to a mission statement briefly of your own social enterprise. So what you should do is write down a very brief mission statement, and it's important to write it down. Having it in your head is not enough. Writing it down crystallizes it, helps you to communicate it with your team members, and also helps you to communicate with your stakeholders. It helps you to articulate your end goal more clearly and get buy-in from others. The mission can be expanded into what is called a vision. The vision is a more specific version. What is it that your mission would achieve? In terms of a vision is more like a picture, a broad canvas on which you paint the change or the impact that you would like to achieve. So a mission statement, I would say, is about 8 words, and a vision statement could be a little more wordy, probably a paragraph, but it should encapsulate a specific impact or change or a difference that you will make, which would actually be a motivation for you. It's very important. When you look at your vision, it should motivate you to do something. Your vision should be a vehicle or a trigger for getting you to act, to do something. So just to give you a guideline, your vision statement could be, I aim to create a product or service with a focus on providing a benefit leading to an outcome. This should be a general format. I suggested 8 words, but it's not fixed. You could go up to 8, 10, even 15. Make it crisp, make it short. Your vision is your future. Your vision is your dream. So keep it very clearly marked. Mark it, put it up on a chart, put it up on a wall. Communicate it to everybody who's involved in your social enterprise. If possible, brand yourself. So this is something very important. Make a logo. Your vision can be communicated by a small graphic or a logo, which helps you to communicate to others and reach out to people who can help you. And that brings me to the next part. The reason you need others to help you and the reason you need to communicate your message is all about marketing. See, a great idea is quite useless unless you market it properly. And we are in the age where, unless you communicate your idea, make it visible to others, and co-opt others into your vision of how and what you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it, and get them to understand your why and get people with the same why who want to achieve the same thing and help them to help you. So what are the key steps in marketing? You have to build a brand. So a logo, a mission, a vision. These are some of the first steps. But branding is more than that. Branding is also it's your personality, how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you interact with people when you talk about your startup, when you meet people, when they ask you what you're doing. You should be able to communicate what your startup is in a few words. You should be able to tell them what you hope to achieve and what help you need from them in order to achieve it. This helps you to attract believers, people who believe in your cause, and build strength, the strength of a network of people who can help you. And ultimately, all these resources, once they come to you, will help you to demonstrate results. Once you demonstrate results, it helps you to build your brand again. So it's a cycle that you need to keep going through, and you need to keep going through it round and round. I would like to stress, keep it simple, make it easy for people to know you, support you, and benefit from you. What is motivational fuel? We all run out of motivation at some point of time. And we need to constantly reimagine what we're trying to do. We need to constantly reinforce what we want to do. And we need to give ourselves the fuel to keep our motivation and spirits up. So how do we do this? If your motivation is not right in the first place, if you're not motivated for the right reasons, it's not going to be sustainable. And what do I mean by not the right motivation? So you can look at what sort of motivation we could call improper motivation, which is probably that you want to become big and well-known for a philanthropic measure. Well, this is a good aim to have, that you're famous and you are well-known and respected, but that alone is not going to give you the motivational fuel to pull your venture forward. You need something bigger than yourself. Remember, social entrepreneurship is definitely starts from yourself, but it's not a purely selfish enterprise, and it includes a lot of other people. So think of bigger things. I want to get millions of dollars in funding, then cash out and retire. Well, a lot of people do this. A lot of startup entrepreneurs have that, but money is not motivation enough. Remember that. Very few startups actually end up getting funded into millions of dollars, and you probably won't get there. You will actually face a lot of money problems along the way. You may face funding crisis, and you have to be prepared for that. So get your motivation right. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur because you don't want to be in a service job. You don't want to have a boss. You don't want to do the regular 9 to 5. That is a kind of a negative motivation. It's like, I don't want to do X, so I want to do Y. Now, so why is it that you want to do that which you want to do? You understand you have to start from a positive motivation, and your why has to be very clear, like I explained before. So now I'm going to give you some examples. This is not exhaustive. You should find your own. Some examples of proper motivation. I want to live in the India of my dreams. We all have dreams for the country and for our world. So if you have a big dream and you want to live it, great. That's a great motivation. I want to be successful by making others successful. Now, the magic of this is that you're expanding your effectiveness from yourself to a number of others. How many people can you make successful? Can you make 10 people successful, 100, 1,000, a million? Well, the number of people you make successful is a measure of your own success. You can get influenced by empowering other people. So have a big dream. Have a dream like, I want to solve at least one social problem of my generation. Now, have a dream like that, something bigger than you, something bigger than reality, something that will make you wake up in the morning and want to do something. Then, of course, we have to reimagine what our end vision will be like. And why do I say reimagine? Because your imagination gives you a dream, but that dream is going to change. The dream tells you what can be. That is your imagination. But what is the reality. And your reality and imagination are not always going to be in sync. You may want to do something, and when imagination meets reality, there's a lot of hard work, believe me, because there's going to be a clash. Some of the things that you dream about are not the things you will see around you. So your dreams may get broken, and you will have to rebuild them. So pick up your shattered dreams, build them, rebuild them, do it again and again and again. And believe me, as an entrepreneur, you have to do this. You have to get used to it. It's part of life. So get the strength to rebuild your dream and keep building your motivational fuel. So I'm now going to talk about some of the sources of motivational fuel, which are very useful. A lot of entrepreneurs have found this very successful methods of keeping up your motivation. So the number one is to read, and this I cannot stress enough. The more you read, not only books, fiction, but also read, inspiring stories. Read about the success of other social entrepreneurs. Read about people who have failed, who have succeeded. Yes, I said failed because when you see people who have failed and learn from their failures, you get a shortcut to your success. It's not all about success; it's also about learning from failure. Connect with like-minded associates. The more people around you who share your dream, share your enthusiasm, the more powerful you're going to be in achieving your goal. Of course, stay positive. A lot of people talk about positive thinking and attitude. Yes, I believe this. Attitude is important. You've got to stay positive. You've got to, keep people who keep putting you down, naysayers, get them out of your life. Don't have people all the time discouraging you. Don't keep limiting yourself to what you have done in the past. Try to think what you can do in the future, because what you can do is much bigger than what you have done till now. And be like Sachin Tendulkar. I always say he never thinks of failure when he goes to bat. He always thinks of making a century. Whether he does or not is a different matter, but he always thinks of it, and that's why he's so successful. So draw from the mentors. Don't be shy to ask people for advice. And lastly, network, network, network. Find stakeholders, well-wishers, people who will back you, support you, maybe just moral support. Maybe they'll give you a word of encouragement. Or maybe they may contribute a little bit of money to your venture and help you financially. Some of them may have knowledge and experience which will be which could be quite useful to you. Or they may have contacts that can help you. Leverage all this. You will feel motivated and you will go ahead. Initially, it's tough, but everybody goes through this journey. You will soon learn that it's not difficult to keep your spirits high and work towards a goal. Good luck, guys. It's better to travel hopefully than to arrive.